What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there.
What's up?
How we doing today, Casino?
Doing pretty all right, man. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't got really any stories. I mean, you have the story of the week, but I don't know if that's appropriate for
Yeah.
this podcast.
I was thinking, should I tell this story on the podcast? I think I'll just give it's because it's a long story. So I'll just give this shortened version. Basically, Casino and I have talked about we're both bartenders. I work in like a very fancy steakhouse. And so you get weird clientele there from time to time. And last night there was this guy who there's a restaurant attached to our bar, right? So there was this guy who was at the restaurant, ate dinner, came into the lounge area afterwards and was like setting up a laptop and a webcam to like do a little webcam show, which isn't weird, right? We see people do that stuff all the time out in public. But what was weird is that he was with probably three children who
Just red flags.
Yeah, he was with three children who look like they ranged from the age of 13 to 17 at the oldest. All three kids, none of them even looked alike, like the kids and the grown-up doing this. So then what happened next was like 4 hours of them just sitting there, me just like staring a hole through the guy, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with this entire situation. Eventually, it's revealed that this guy is like a video editor and he randomly picked these kids up to like teach them about video editing. Luckily, one of the kids, the older
Moms,
kid's
yeah.
mom, yeah, like called, and you could tell by his reaction and what he said afterwards when he hung up the phone. He was like, "Oh man, my mom's pissed because uh you're just a stranger who took me my friends to dinner at a fancy steakhouse and she's coming to pick us up." Again, this is 4 hours into this. I'm, texting my wife the whole time and I'm like, this is weird. Something's up here. This doesn't look like a stepdad or a parental figure or anything like that. Do I call the cops? Like literally 4 hours. I'm not leaving this one little section just to make sure like what's going over here is again what I think it is. And I don't even know what I thought it was. It was just obviously red flags everywhere. So eventually I stay an hour later than I'm supposed to, just basically in case like he tries to leave with the kids, just to make sure these kids actually go with the mom. So then the mom pulls up. I go outside with like behind
This
all
is
of
the
them.
condensed version, everybody, by the way.
Yeah. The older guy is standing there like talking to the mom. The mom tells the kids to get in the car. The mom proceeds to scream at the guy for being a fucking weirdo. Rightfully so. She says everything you think she would say, right? And then basically tells him to fuck off. He just walks right by.
I just don't understand how these kids were just able to go anywhere without their families knowing.
Well, the kid said on the phone, like, "Oh, I tried to call you earlier, but you never picked up." And then when the mom, she looked like she picked him up. She looked like she was like sleeping or passed out. Again, we live in Vegas, so who knows? She might work at a midnight shift. She might work graveyard,
Yeah.
right?
90% of the town does work in hospitality.
Yeah, so maybe she just woken up to get ready for a shift or something.
Because
I
if you
don't
don't know, we all just live in casinos.
know. Yeah. We do podcasts with our co-host Casino. But but so then the end of the story is basically the guy just walks right by me and is like, "Oh, hey buddy, what's going on?" After 4 to now 5 hours of me staring a hole through this guy, never looked at me or made eye contact with me once. Second, the kids are out of the picture. All of a sudden, he's Mr. Friendly, like, "Oh, hey, didn't see you there." Again, weird thing. And then I found out what the guy's name was because one of the kids, when he was talking to his mom on the phone, was like, "It's blah, blah, blah. Like, look him up. He's legit." You look this guy up, and it's just the weirdest, like, stuff on this guy. Again, no, like, this guy was arrested for blah, blah. It's all like business stuff, but it's really weird business stuff that just seems so, like, random and out of the blue and fake. And then it's just like, this guy is presumed to be worth like $250 million. And then it's like, but he was going to get an Uber and he's walking around and he has no car. It's just, again, weird, weird, weird. So that was literally like, my shift was 6.5 hours. That was literally 5 hours of it right there. It was It was weird. But besides that, having a pretty good day. How about you,
Good.
Casino?
Good day. Good day.
Yeah, but let's get into. Do you want to go college or NFL first?
College ball.
That's why I have it first. Me and Casino are
We're
like
kindred
this.
spirits.
Except it is week 8 in college football this week, and we have a couple. If we are doing marquee mid miserable for college football, we have some marquee matchups this week, Casino. None bigger
Maki.
than Georgia, number 5 Georgia at number 1 Texas. Who you think pulls this one out?
Texas. Texas is the best team. Like it's in Texas. There's if it was on the road in Georgia, maybe I could give you a little bit of, okay, maybe. But no, Texas, they're too good. We've seen what they can do. You know, I gave my little speech about that last week when Oregon was they're like, "Oh man, Oregon almost jumped Texas." I'm like, "Why? Why? Oregon's been barely beating teams. Texas is blowing teams out. It's no. Texas.
Dude,
Texas all
Texas
day."
has been blowing out people with their backup quarterback.
Yeah,
Whenever the Manning kid comes in.
it's Texas
Yeah.
all day.
I also think it's Texas. I honestly don't see this game really even being close.
No, I think it's a blowout. I think Texas could probably beat the Cleveland Browns.
We can't do that. We can't. Everybody gets so mad when those discussions come
I
up.
know, it's great.
Also, Casino, this podcast, UNLV Rebels, did you know they're 4th in the nation in scoring offenses? In the
Yes,
entire nation.
they're
4th.
great.
That's because I was just looking. Texas is number 7. Georgia's not on the list, but both 9 and 10 are on the list in our next matchup, and that is Alabama. Oh, I just lost it.
Roll Tide.
Alabama, number 7 at number 11, Tennessee. That one should be good. It's projected right now on win probability that Alabama has a 60% chance of winning. Uh, do you think Tennessee can pull the upset, quote unquote?
I do. I do. I think Bama that Vanderbilt screwed them, man, and then they almost lost last week to South Carolina, who's 3-3 now. Like this is Bama's a sham. They've been weak.
More like
They're weak at the
Shama.
like sham. Wow. They're weak at the knees there. I'm calling Tennessee. I like Tennessee all year. Yeah, I'm just keeping it quick and simple. Quick and simple this day.
Yeah. I also think when you watch Alabama, just something looks off with them. I think that Tennessee, remember at one point in this season, Tennessee, everybody was like, is Tennessee the best team in the nation? I don't feel like at one time, maybe after the Georgia game, we were having those same conversations about Alabama, but
Right.
still that
But I mean,
game.
Tennessee or Arkansas's only loss because that's Tennessee lost to Arkansas in home at in Arkansas, and the only Arkansas losses so far are Oklahoma State, okay, and then Texas A&M, and they only lost to them by 4. Texas A&M is currently ranked 14th, like, and then yeah, they blew out Auburn, this and that. Tennessee's not a bad team. They're not a bad team. Any given Sunday, any Saturday, I guess, in this take, man, I'm all over the place. Whew. I need to focus. Focus. It's this bright
Focus.
ass. It's this new bright ass light that you told me to get. Can't.
I know it's. But look at how deep our pores are, Casino.
I
That's
know,
what the
but
people want to
I,
see.
I see like my child is trying to look at me right now, and I see nothing. Just see a blob.
That's a maybe a glimpse into the future. Maybe, like maybe this is a ghost of Christmas past kind of thing where it's like, what if you didn't have a daughter? Or what if you didn't have a kid and this is like telling you to do better? I don't know. I was reaching there.
Yeah.
But
All right. This. All right. We're 10 minutes in on the nose here, and we are off the rails. Oy vey.
it's going to be a weird episode. You can tell. You can tell when it's going to be a weird episode, Casino, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't have it
I
any
mean, you
other
started
way.
off about a predator, trying to diddle kids. So
Yeah. It was again just weird. But any other games you wanted to mention this week, Casino, for college football week 8?
I honestly like I went down a rabbit hole of clicking things. Um, no, I don't. 0.
Yeah. This is not this week, but next week is the Friday night Boise State UNLV game. This week, I don't know who. Now I
Boise
have to
State
go.
Boise State's got a bye.
Oh, who does UNLV play this week, or do they also have a bye?
They play, Oregon State on Saturday.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
They're gonna play them Beavers.
That'll be good.
Yeah, they're on the
Also,
road. They're on the road, and then Boise State comes to UNLV, which again, I I pray about that running back just like having an ingrown toenail or something, just so he's a slightly off. I don't ever wanna see a player get hurt, but ingrown toenail, just so just so he takes a quick step out, you know?
Yeah. I also did you see because I was gonna talk the game I'm also excited for is Colorado, Arizona. I've always liked Arizona. Colorado has been pretty interesting this season. But did you see where Travis Hunter came out and said that he was talking about the Genti from Boise State, and he was like, if I also had 90 catches or whatever, I'd have probably more yards than he did. So
Hmm,
again, it's so I mean, which honestly, I read that and I was kind of like, I mean, he's right, but it's also kind of a dickhead thing to say.
yeah,
like,
you know?
which is kind of the Colorado way. Also Michigan, Illinois. I feel like this will be the final nail in the Michigan this season coffin. I think Illinois kills them. And then other than that, yeah. I mean, pretty good week for college football. There's at least 5 or 6 games I'm pretty
Again,
interested in.
every week to me, I've been excited for college football because it all matters.
Yeah. Well,
With
and all
with
of
this
it's
12
so
team for with this
unpredictable.
12 team format, it all matters. It all matters.
Yeah. But all right. Oh, also Oregon, Purdue. If Purdue can I mean, there's no chance they win, but that'll still be
You just hate
nice to
Oregon.
see. No, Oregon kind of annoys me, but I am rooting for them to actually be the team they're always predicted to be in the preseason, for them to actually be it once. But all right, Casino, let's move on to NFL. We go from college football to NFL week 7. And first, we have to do the pick update. I already told you guys on the last episode, me and Casino killed it. Casino killed it one more than I did. I have no pen, so I'm gonna have to get a pen. But it was after last week. I am at 50 games for the season. Casino was at 53. He added one more game to his
Yeah, I thought I was gonna smoke you, but I know we picked all the same games.
except one. The only game we picked differently was Jets Bills. And then the only game we picked wrong was Seahawks 49ers.
Yeah,
Again, look,
I'm almost a god.
I don't know how we both picked the Seahawks looking back now, but we can't look in the past,
Well,
Casino. Move
I
forward.
mean, I know why I picked them, but I don't know why you had them in your top 10 in your power rankings. I had a lot of
How dare
fans
you?
reach out. I had a lot of fans reach out to me there and were like, "What the hell is he talking about?" I'm
I
not
don't
kidding.
believe you for a second. I don't believe you for a second.
Let me once I will send you the text messages. I will send
I
you the
just
text
like the
messages.
Seahawks. If we were going to do a power ranking this week, but I think we should save that for Tuesday's show.
We just keep
So
putting it off. It's what we do, guys.
yeah. But yeah. Also, why they giving me shit? You also picked the Seahawks.
No. They're not giving me shit that I picked the Seahawks to win that game. They're giving you shit for having them in your top 10.
Well, I thought going into that week they were going to beat the 49ers and be in everyone's top 10. I was calling my shot and my shot was wrong. But our shots were basically right last week. It was the all favorites week. Casino won 13 out of 15 games. I won 12 out of 15 games. So Casino has a 3-game lead going into week 7. And this week pretty almost identical to last week in terms of marquee mid and miserable matchups, except I think we both agree the marquee and mid games are not reaches. There is a
No,
lot of good games this
that's a
week.
lot of good games this week.
So we always start Casino in our marquee mid and miserable matchups with the marquee
Did
matchups.
you do any? You didn't. You didn't
I
do them.
didn't. I didn't. I didn't do them. You also were like, "Oh, I'll send you pictures,"
Oh
and never
shit, I
did.
was. Next week. Put it
Next
off.
week. Let's just keep putting it off. First up, Casino. Lions at
Well,
Vikings.
let's pick a category. I'll do them on the fly. I'll just call them out.
Uh famous historical figures. Go.
Lions and Vikings.
But Lions Vikings Casino, the matchup of the undefeated Vikings and the Lions, who in most people's power rankings is probably number one in terms of minimum NFC teams. So both NFC North teams going at it. Who you got in this one, Casino?
I'm excited for this one, man. But this is I think the Lions prove it stage for me. To tell me if they're going to be as legit as they're supposed to be. I mean, you're on the road. On the road here, you need to show up. The Vikings, they can lose a game. You know, they're undefeated right now. They can lose a game and be just fine. Obviously, I know in that division, you don't want to lose against a divisional opponent, but to me, I like what the locker room felt like after that. You sent me that video of the Lions, of Dan Campbell, of Jared Goff. Jared Goff's cooking right now. Um, I I am worried about Aiden Hutchinson being out and the Vikings just putting up too many points on the
Yeah,
Lions, but I think this will be a high scoring affair. But I'm going to go Lions because they're my Super Bowl pick, and I think this is the prove it to me game if you want to be a Super Bowl contender.
that's kind of where I'm at. Like we had a couple weeks ago where it was Vikings Texans, if we remember correctly, and it was like this is the official prove it week for the Minnesota Vikings to be like, oh, are they fine? Like, are they actually a legit good team? And then if we remember correctly, they like blew them out, right? And that game
Yeah,
wasn't close, wasn't even close from the beginning, absolutely annihilated them. And with the Lions, we kind of had that game last week, even though you and I both don't think the Cowboys are contenders. It's still pretty impressive when you blow out any team in this league by almost 50 points. Like, I
right.
don't care what team you're playing. Nobody's blown out the Panthers by almost 50, except since, week one, and they're arguably the worst team in the league. So, Vikings, again, my concern would be Lions have so much emotion after that game. It was a revenge game for the bullshit that happened last year with the in the Cowboys game. But the Vikings also coming off a bye week. They've had extra time to prepare. It's a division rival. They're undefeated. Uh when you look at the stats, I mean it's a no-brainer. Lions are top 10 in every category except passing, their 13th.
Yeah, I
Vikings
mean this
are
is only as of right now. What it looks like is it's just a 1.5 for the Vikings going into this game. Which okay, there's your home field advantage. Just damn near pick them.
yeah.
I think the
Well,
world and the nation, they want to see what this is. You want to know what the over under is on this? Take a guess.
the over under
I was on the right track if it can be a high scoring game.
52.
50.5, 50 and
Oh
a half.
shit. All right.
And I think it gets it. I would bet the over.
Yeah, I would probably bet the over as well. I mean, both teams have the Lions have the sixth ranked defense, the Vikings have the seventh ranked defense. Now, Lions have not had a bye, Vikings have had a bye, so their stats could potentially be better than what they're actually showing on paper. But this is my question when it comes to the Vikings casino is did they have their bye week too early? Is it they had all this momentum and then to suddenly stop and try to
That's
just turn it
Hey,
back
that's a
on?
good point. That
That
could
would
be
be
that could be the thing.
yeah, that would be my concern, and that's also why even though
You're
it's
going
our
Vikings.
well, that's why, it is our team, the Vikings, for this podcast, but I'm picking the Lions. I
I
just
no,
think
that's who I'm picking. You know that.
yeah,
That's what I said.
I'm also picking the Lions, even
Oh,
though I think the Vikings are really good. I
what's your
think this will be a
score?
back and forth. You said 54. I think I'm gonna go 30 to 24. 30 to 24 Lions.
No.
What are you picking?
No. I'm picking I'm gonna be 31-28.
31-28 Lions.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
think it
we're
comes down to the field goal.
yeah, I think it comes down to a potential game-winning touchdown. Who knows what happens, but I trust both. I can't believe I say this, but I trust Sam Darnold. I really do. He has 11
On that
touchdowns
team
this
all day.
season, 4 interceptions. Aaron Jones has looked good, but the Lions just look like they finally are the juggernaut everybody thought they would be at the start of the season. Uh, Next up, Casino, on our marquee matchups. Another good one with an NFC North team, the Houston Texans at the Green Bay Packers. Who you got in this one?
Oh man, I even after last game, I just beating the Patriots. You didn't beat the Patriots how I thought you were going to beat the Patriots. You still let them score.
A
Was that
rookie
just
score.
was that just Drake May, being good and
Next
showing
Tom Brady? Question
what he
mark.
could do without that, without an offensive line? Um, I'm gonna go Packers on this one, and as I see here, the Packers are favored at -3. I thought the Texans would be favored. I guess it's in Lambeau. You're right, but I'm going to go Packers on this one. The Texans still after this many games, I'm still just like, I don't know. The Texans need to show me more. Um, they beat a stinker in a team last year or last week with the Patriots, but defensively concerned me for the Texans.
Yeah.
So I think the Packers are just going to put too much up onto them. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna actually go 28, 17 Packers.
Ooh, 28-17.
I think the Texans are gonna have trouble keeping the Packers offense off the field, and I think the Packers are gonna score early, and then they're gonna start running the ball and control the clock, and that's why it's gonna be somewhat of a lower scoring.
Yeah. Last time we saw Jordan Love on the field, he threw 4 touchdowns, 1
Yeah.
interception. After some rocky starts there, he missed a couple games because of injury. We were wondering, oh, is the injury lingering? Is it not? And then he comes out and throws 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, if you look at when it comes to Love versus Stroud, Stroud is technically having a better season because his completion percentage is almost at 70%. He has basically 1,600 yards. Love, even after missing, I believe he missed 2 games, is at 1,100 yards. But his completion percentage is the thing that scares me this season when it comes to Love. He is way below league average. He is at 58% right now, basically 59. So I think the average is like 65. So he's a full 6 points lower when it comes to completion percentage. But both these teams, shockingly, even on paper, the only glaring difference is the Texans have the 8th best defense in the league, while the Packers have the 20th best defense in the league. So Packers defense significantly worse. Will the home field advantage cancel out how big of a disadvantage they are on defense? I don't think it will. So that's why I am picking the Houston Texans, Casino, to go into Lambeau, get the upset. I don't think this is blowout of the week. It might be potentially best game of the week, but I will go. I also don't think it'll be as high scoring. I'll go 25 to 21. 25 to 21. Texans go into Lambeau. I'm also glad we're getting our first opposite pick this early in our game picks, Casino. Maybe we'll have different games this week.
Yeah.
Next up, the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs coming off a bye go to the 49ers, who haven't played since last Thursday. So they got like a half bye.
Mhm.
Which is what Casino was in high school. But Kansas City Chiefs 5-0 at the 3-3 San Francisco 49ers. Patrick Mahomes, I looked it up, Casino,
Oh,
4-0
I've okay, 4-0 against the Niners.
in his entire career. Has never
That's fine.
lost
It's
to
gonna
him.
be 4-1.
Oh, is this
Calling
your
it now.
upset pick of the week?
Dude, it is because it's something just has to it finally just has to break. I mean, is this even an upset? I'm fucking looking this up.
Or
No,
no,
it's
no.
not. The Niners are
Niners
favored.
are
The Niners
favored,
are favored, and
which
I'm
is
going with that. I'm
insane.
going with that. Um, so I wanted to pull this up because I saw a brief thing stat wise for Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes somewhere online, right? And it was just doing touchdowns, interceptions. I'm like, I want to check out more. What's up,
Oh
honey?
my god, are you telling us for the first time ever you actually
Mhm.
came with research on the podcast?
I did.
Oh
I
my
have it up.
god.
I got it right here. So this season right now, Joe Burrow is destroying Patrick Mahomes in every stat category, and yet Chiefs are. This is I just it's blowing my mind. The Chiefs are undefeated. Or and Joe Burrow, they could barely win games. So completions, I'll just go with the percentage: 71 to 69. Nice. And the more yardage, 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes, 6-6. He looks awful. The one sack that or the uh gosh, I have stats and I can't even fucking speak here. Um
You're so excited to finally have
I
stats.
am. Well, it just infuriates me about just how they're undefeated. So Joe Burrow has been sacked 15 times and Patrick Mahomes only 9. But you know what? That just makes all of his completions and everything even more valid and legit and more impressive. And then the same thing with rushing attempts. Joe Burrow has only ran 18 times, but he has more yards than Patrick Mahomes 23 times, who has less yards. I mean, it's only by 10, but I don't give a shit. Um, I don't. And I in every category, Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes this year, yet Patrick Mahomes is undefeated. Something's got to give. I bring up those stats because something has got to give. I am so over Patrick Mahomes. I am so over them fucking winning. And it's winning how they're winning. It's how they're winning. That's what bothers me. It oh god,
So you're
I'm done.
picking the 49ers.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm picking the 49ers. My daughter says I'm not. She's not done. I'm done.
Do you need a snack?
I
Your
do
daughter's asking.
28-24 Niners. I'll be right back.
Uh, yeah, based on everything Casino just said, obviously I agree with it. I would gladly take the mantle of the number one Chiefs haters in the sports realm, right? Because now we do this dumb thing. We're not the sports media. I'm doing this from my my kid's room. Casino's doing it from his kitchen counter, right? And we only lose money on this podcast. We don't make it. So I feel like you can't be called something unless you make money from it. So I won't include us in the sports media, but us in the community of people who talk about sports, there's this weird thing now where it's like, you don't have to like the Chiefs, but you have to respect them. Like, why? Why do you have to? Why is there this thing where it's like you don't like them, but you have to respect them? And it's just like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to like or respect anything you don't want to do. I don't like the Chiefs, and I'm not reluctant to respect them because again, they annoy the ever loving shit out of me, much like Casino. Um, they beat my team in a Super Bowl. They are constantly in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce is annoying. Patrick Mahomes, again, they're just like greatest quarterback of all time, no debate. And then it's like, do we realize we just watched the greatest quarterback of all time beat this guy in a Super Bowl? And now it's like we just have to be like, no debate. Oh, he's having a bad season. Doesn't matter. No debate. Still best quarterback in the league. It's like, why are we just this community where it's like
Sorry. I'm
nothing can
back.
be said badly about the Chiefs or Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes this season, no question about it, the worst season of his career. He is almost he's at 69% completion percentage. Nice, as Casino just said. He has 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. When you watch the games, it's like he's when's the last time you saw a Patrick Mahomes highlight from a game this season where they play it nonstop over and over and they're like, oh my God, can you believe Mahomes did this?
Yeah,
There
I did. It
is,
was when he I saw somebody make one. It was when he took a kneel down.
yeah. So,
Oh my gosh, he took a kneel down. Oh my god, that was the most beautiful knee I've ever seen. Holy shit, that's the greatest thing. He's the best quarterback. Goat. Goat.
the 3
Uh,
teams I currently am a hater the most of this season is Chiefs number 1, and then it's open for after that. It's open. Obviously, I'm an Eagles fan, so I don't like the Cowboys and I don't like the 49ers, but the 49ers and Cowboys this season have done nothing to annoy me, right? My team would probably be the second team I hate the most
and
this
you're
season.
just impressed by Washington.
Yeah. Well, I said I've never been a Commanders or Redskins like hater because they've never done anything in my entire life of watching
Yeah.
being an Eagles fan. But The number one
That's
hit.
how I've always kind of felt about the Bills, to be honestly. I've always hated the Jets and I've always hated Miami. And then for the Bills, I was just like, "Eh." So when they started getting good, I was just like,
Yeah, good for them. You kind of feel like good for them. I've watched this division for 25 plus
I know I'm gonna
years.
get so much hate from my Patriots group chat about that. But I really just I don't care if the Bills win or lose. Like, unless they're playing the Patriots, I want them to lose. But
Yeah.
I want the Jets and the Miami Dolphins to lose every game.
Yeah, I had to sit through 2 years where all we ever did in my Eagles watching lifetime is dominate the Giants, and somehow they still won 2 Super Bowls. In that time where we just twice a year, every year, makes no sense. And then obviously the Cowboys for the
My
obvious reasons.
my wife took all the
But
energy drinks, so all I have now is beer. So I'm just gonna drink a beer.
nothing better. That is your name. But yeah, so we have the 49ers right now, second in offense, second in the league in passing, third in the league in rushing, 15th in the league in defense, 23rd in the league of offense, fourth in the league of defense for the Chiefs, 18th in the league in passing, 24th in the league of rushing. So again, the Mahomes has never beat the Chiefs, or Mahomes has never beat the 49ers, I should say. And there's a first time for everything. This is a revenge game for the 49ers. I'm picking the 49ers. I don't want to root against, or I don't want to root for the 49ers except when they're playing the Chiefs. So this will be the one week I am a huge 49ers fan, and I hope they
And if
annihilate.
Brock Purdy wins and beats Patrick Mahomes, everybody should just get down and blow him, pretty much.
We're gonna have a real fun discussion if Purdy outplays Mahomes in this game, which I think he has all the right to do. So you know
Yeah,
what,
I mean, we'll
Casino?
all discuss as we're on our knees.
I'm right there with you. 28-24, 49ers. Let's go Niners. That'll be the only time.
And BJ has left the chat. I have no idea what happened to him. Again, Cox Cable has been the absolute worst. Oh, wait, there he is. Okay.
I got so excited I clicked out. But let's move on, Casino, to our marquee matchup of the week, and that is the Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This does feel like we talked about the prove it games that both the Lions and Vikings had. We even talked about the Commanders last week against this very same Baltimore team, that being a prove it game. This feels like the prove it game for me when it comes to the Buccaneers. Four
Buccaneers
and two versus 4-2. They're at home. They're playing the Ravens, coming off a pretty easy win that
on
didn't look easy at all.
on Monday night.
And this is the Monday night game, which again, they're doing the two Monday night games where one of them is a must watch and then one of them's a weird matchup. So,
I won't watch. I will not watch the other game.
no,
Other game
this
being
is
Chargers Cardinals. We'll get to that one.
yeah, this is going to be on the entire time. Who you got in this matchup, Casino?
I'm going with King Henry. They're rolling. They're absolutely rolling. And again, I don't have an issue with the Bucks. Like if they lose, they lose. I'm sad. I like Patrick Mahomes. I like Baker Mayfield. They're 4-2. They'll go 4-3. It's not the end of their season. Um, they're still right there to take the crown for that division with the Falcons. So I'm going the Ravens. I think King Henry and Lamar Jackson and that team, Zay Flowers, they have all figured it out on offense. I mean, their defense is a little and same with the Bucks. So I think this is going to be another high scoring affair, roughly. But I do have Baltimore pretty much putting a beat down on top of the Buccaneers here, even though it's in Tampa. But this and I know I'm being a homer here with going with all the obvious picks, but could the Bucks beat the Ravens? Yes, but Ravens are on a 4-game win streak. They are hot. Zay Flowers, like I said, all three that I just said, Zay Flowers, King Henry, and Lamar Jackson are all feeling it right now. Absolutely feeling it. And the Bucks have been kind of just up and down a little bit. So I'm going to go Ravens here. I think it'll be close. Um, let's call it 28 27.
Oh, 1 point game. What is the spread on this game, Casino?
It's -3.5 for the Ravens, and the over/under is 49.5.
Hmm. You know what? This is gonna be my upset pick of the week. I'm
Totally
picking the
fine with
Buccaneers.
it. Totally fine with it.
I am picking the Buccaneers. I feel like always on those standalone games, weird shit happens. This is going to be a game where every host on the pregame show is going to be like, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. And then I can already see it. Tampa Bay social media pages are going to show the screenshot of everybody picking the Ravens and then do the little shrugging guy like every team does when everybody picks against them in one game. I think this will be a low scoring game. I think it'll be a weird game. I'm going 17-14 Bucks. This my upset pick of the week. I believe in the Bucks. They're coming off a huge game last week. Ravens again, they've been spotty this season. This seems like a trap game. Yeah, I'm going Tampa Bay
That's totally
Bucks.
fair. That's a great analysis on that. I'm right there with you. I feel it.
Yeah. So Bake Show will I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, you got
I got
nothing.
nothing.
There it is.
But now, Casino, we move on to our mid matchups. And again, these are the games where maybe half of the participants were interested in. It doesn't quite reach
Or
marquee
they're just two
status.
feisty teams playing each other.
Yeah, maybe games we expect to be better than they look on paper. Maybe teams were just interested in watching, but not necessarily the best matchups. The first one is a game or the first two, I should say, were potential marquee matchups, but something about them just like, eh. Uh, Seahawks at Falcons Casino. This was the closest one that almost got to a marquee matchup. But again, Seahawks making me look foolish. Have been on a slide the past couple
3
weeks.
games.
Yeah, they were 3-0. They've fallen down 0-3 their last three. So now they go to kind of the red hot Falcons 4-2. Kirk Cousins looking good, 9-5 this season, almost 1,600 yards and 67% completion percentage. Drake London has finally caught on. He has 428 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then you look at the Seahawks, Geno Smith, almost 70% completion percentage, almost 1,800 yards, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I feel like he's having a much better season than his numbers indicate because when you watch him play, everything looks crisp. It looks like he gets the ball exactly where it's supposed to go. And they have the number one passing attack in the entire NFL behind the arm of Geno Smith. Who you taking in this one, Casino?
Oh, I think this is where the Falcons, again, this is just, I haven't picked an upset pick yet, but I think the Falcons finally take a top of the division. I think the Seahawks, with their slide, they're going on the road. They're not feeling themselves. Yes, Gino has been throwing the ball very well, but so is Kirk Cousins. I mean, primetime Cousins is now primetime Cousins. I know it's only a 10 a.m. game for us out here on the West Coast, but I love everything that he's doing. The Falcons kind of seem to have gotten it together. I think this is another high scoring game. Um, I'm calling it 35-28.
Whoa.
I think both the quarterbacks absolutely sling the ball on their respective defenses of the other team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm picking the Falcons as well. Our scores are very similar. I'm going 31-21 Falcons, basically for all the reasons you said. I just think the Falcons better team right now. I like their running backs more. Their defense is better, and their offense I mean, the Seahawks total offense is 6. Falcons total defense or offense, I mean, is 7th in the league. So I like Bijan, even though he hasn't really lived up to the hype of what he should be. He's still at almost 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Algier is right behind him at 300
We
yards,
all
one
can't beat
touchdown.
King Henry.
Yeah. So I do think this is a prove it game for the Falcons and kind of a stake in the heart of the Seahawks if all of a sudden they started 3-0 and now they're 0-4 in their last couple games. Yeah, that defense also in Seattle for some reason has just each week gotten worse. When at first they started as I think they were like a top 10 defense in that
Yeah.
3-game win streak. So I'm losing confidence in the Seahawks, but let's move on to our next game, Casino. Jets at Steelers. Who you got in this one?
Ugh. Um, yeah. I just don't want to. It's going to be the Jets. I'm going the Jets on this one. No, I don't want to. Who's starting quarterback for the Steelers? Has it come out yet? Do we know? Are you still there? Sorry, I looked away from the screen. Oh fuck a doc. I don't know. This one's gonna be close. Who are you gonna pick? Because I'm pretty much at a pick 'em, and then I will go off the other pick of what you're saying. If you're even paying attention anymore. Nope. Sorry. What I was saying is I don't know. I was gonna pick the Jets. I said the Jets first, and then it's at Pitt. Who are you picking?
Why? So you can just pick opposite of who I'm picking or the same?
Damn near I'm gonna go opposite because I mean I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
do we know? Yeah, I can't find any news of if the who the starting quarterback for the Steelers is going to be.
Right. And also the Jets are talking about Devontae Adams miraculously coming back from his hamstring injury. Devontae Adams should be playing this weekend. Is he going to be up to speed? I think that's playing in a lot too because Jets are -2 in Pitt. So I don't get it. Um, I mean this game has just this game just has gross written all over it. I just don't know what to pick here. So I could go either way.
Yeah, I think
Who
we
are you going
will
with? And I will pick the opposite.
I am going Steelers. I'm
Okay,
going
then I'm
Steelers
gonna go
Casino.
Jets, and I'm gonna call it 17-14. It's gross.
17-14 Jets. I do think it'll be similar to that score. I think it'll be low scoring. I think both the Jets and Steelers right now 12th defense in the league, Jets 5th in the league in total defense. So the issues with both these teams has not been the defense. The offense, however, passing is 27th in the league for Justin Fields. That's why they're potentially making the switch for Russell Wilson. Who knows? I think they're going to try to play that close to the vest. I'm assuming we're recording this on Thursday. I'm assuming by Friday night, Russell Wilson will be starting this game. So that's
Well,
why.
that's why I think I want to go Jets here, even if Devontae Adams gets into the mix and not 100% understanding the playbook. Um, he knows Aaron Rodgers. They got a good thing going together. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go Jets. I think it's gonna be a nasty game. Um, Go Steelers. I'm doing the reverse jinx. I want the Jets are gonna win. Steelers are gonna win.
The Jets are still 2-4. Steelers 4-2. Does this is again the Sunday night football game. So does Devontae Adams significantly change this offense from being 12th in the league in passing? Now all of a sudden, are they going to be a top 5 passing offense? I doubt it, but I do think they'll be better. I don't know if significantly better because again, Devontae Adams for the Raiders, it's not like he was having this crazy good season. And again, when you look at Rodgers,
And he's
9
coming back from a
touchdowns.
calf or a hamstring injury, right?
Yeah, exactly. Rodgers, 62% completion percentage, 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, coming off arguably his best game of the season because that Monday night game, he was actually pretty good. Uh, yeah, I'm picking the Steelers 21-14. I like Casino said, I think this will be an ugly game. I feel like every Sunday night football game for some reason this year has been ugly. They've been weird. Something weird has happened. I can see something weird happening in this game, much like the Monday night game we just watched. So
Don't worry, I
yeah.
will have an upset pick. Don't worry.
So yeah, I'm going Steelers in this one, 21-14. I think we're gonna expect defense in this game, and that's basically what we're gonna get. Maybe also this will be one of those instances where it's like, oh, Devontae Adams is back. Let me try to force the ball to him.
All of him,
And
interception.
yeah, or drop passes, overthrown balls. Steelers also know he's going to try to force the ball to him. So I don't know. I'm picking Steelers. Next up, the other Monday night game we just talked about, Chargers at Cardinals. This is mid just because Cardinals are fun to watch, especially at home, and Chargers, I mean, they're not
Mhm.
fun to watch, but they're still a good team. So who you got in this one, Casino? Chargers 3-2 at the 2-4 Cardinals.
I'm going to go the Cardinals. So this is technically an upset, but it's not my upset of the week. It's because they're at home. They're feisty. They're in games. The Chargers, I don't know what they are all the time. Like I know that they're a run team. Their defense, they have an identity, but that doesn't mean that they're working. I mean, it's the first year with uh, Harbaugh back in the NFL, trying to fix this team. So that's kind of where I'm leading. I think the Cardinals will get it done simply just because they're at home and they've been right there in the realm of winning games, but just not finishing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
Chargers are 3-2, Cardinals are 2-4. Like, I think they both end this week.
three
You know,
wins.
yeah, with 3 wins. So
All right. And I'll tell you what, Murray actually not having a bad season. 68% completion percentage, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So he's playing much better than the record indicates. Again, funny how they have a defensive coordinator and he has the 28th ranked defense in the league. And people can say, oh, he doesn't have talent on defense and all this kind of stuff. He was a defensive coach that if he got one stop in the Super Bowl, his team wins the Super Bowl. So funny how the guy who couldn't stop a nosebleed in the Super Bowl now has a top 5 worst defense in the league. Of course, talking about Murr from Impractical Jokers. But Cardinals fifth in the league in total rushing. Chargers third in the league in total defense. Chargers still 31st in the league in total passing, which is
yeah,
crazy that they have Herbert, who also 64% completion percentage, 815 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's having a good season. They just never have him throw the ball, which is the Harbaugh way. I still believe in Harbaugh. I think again the coaching mismatch in this game is going to be why the Chargers win this game. I'm going to say they win it comfortably. I'm going to say 28 to let's go 17. 28-17 Chargers. What was your score for the Cardinals Casino?
shit. Let's go. Um, let's go 18-15. There's a
Oh.
safety in there somewhere, or it's all field goals.
There you go. Let's
Just to pick
uh
a random number.
Our last mid matchup this week, Casino, is the game tonight on Thursday Night Football. We are picking the Broncos at the Saints. Who you got in this one?
God, this is a bad. Just
Denver 3-3, Saints 2-4.
I don't want to watch this game tonight, but it's going to be on. I mean, I'm just going to have it on, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. Um, I can't even find it here on the list because like it's just so bad apparently that it's not going to even pop up. Actually, truly, I don't even see it on the list. Oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah. So Broncos. I'm gonna go Saints just because they're at home.
Ugh. This is also the Sean Payton return game. This is his first time coaching against
Yeah, so he'll lose.
the Saints right now. We're rocking the 32nd ranked defense in the league. The Broncos have the 9th ranked defense. Both these offenses, obviously bottom of the league. Saints are only as high as they are right now because of those 2 weeks where they were just getting 50 or 45 to 50 points a game those first 2 weeks. Kamara 426 yards has kind of fallen off the last couple weeks. Is Derek Carr playing in this game, or is it still Spencer Rattler?
I think it's Rattler still.
Ugh, this is gonna be a bad Thursday night game, and which is surprising because we've had nothing but good Thursday night games. So yeah, Spencer Rattler is going to start the next probably 3 games with Derek Carr being out. I think he's a stomach or it's an oblique injury that'll is keeping him out for minimum a month. So yeah, this will be Spencer Rattler versus Bo Nix. Gross.
Joy.
Yeah. But the Broncos should win this game because again, the Broncos are playing the worst defense with a top 10 defense. So I'm expecting this to be all Broncos. This might be my blowout of the week, but I don't trust them to have a significant offensive performance. So I think this will be an ugly game, much like Steelers Jets. So I'm going to pick the same score I did for Jets Steelers and go 21-14.
17-14 Saints.
17-14 Saints. We have a lot of different games this week, Casino.
I
That's
know. We
good.
need to.
All right, Casino.
Miserable.
Now we move on to our
Miserable.
miserable matchups.
Miserable.
Casino is miserable for multiple reasons right now, but one of them is we have to talk about his team as the first miserable matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars again in London or Germany or wherever they keep doing these
It's
games.
in London. It's at Wembley Stadium. I've been there. Shout out to my travels.
But yeah, this will be a game I definitely will not be waking up early at 6:30 to watch. Will you be waking up early to watch your team play?
No, because I do not have access to it.
It's on the
Only
NFL Network
it's on
kind of
the
thing.
NFL Plus thing, and I'm not spending any more money to try to watch. I have way too many things that I spend money on to watch things. Um,
Yeah.
I can forego this one. Just it's going to be what it is. But I do plan on waking up and seeing the Patriots win this game.
Oh, is this your upset
This
pick of the
is
week?
it's 5.5 for Jacksonville.
Oh my god. Wow.
I exactly. So first off, it is a travel game. It is a long game. It's overseas. Those are always weird and funky.
True.
I like what Drake May did last week against the Texans. He was pressured a lot, but he still threw 3 touchdowns. He
Yeah.
still threw 3 touchdowns, and that one of those fumbles, not him. He got blindsided and got smoked. One of those interceptions, it got tipped up, and it was I don't know how the defender ever caught that ball. He caught it around the helmet of the other player. So I'm thinking that as my group chat said, Drake May is going to drop dimes. Shout out to my chat who listens to this podcast. So I think this is going to happen. I think it's going to be a 27-21 victory for the Pats.
Wow. Uh Also looking at because we always look at NFL just to get the rankings and stuff like that. The last time these two teams played was in 2022, and the Patriots won 50-10. So I bet you missed those good old days, Casino, where now you're struggling with a rookie quarterback if you can beat a 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars teams.
What,
My
2022 you said?
huh?
2022?
2022.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
That was Mac Jones in 2022.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's only Mac Jones played for the Patriots for 3 years, man.
Yeah, that's true. That might be the Mac Jones game. Oh, well, let me click on it. But
Yeah, you have it right there.
So the Jaguars by every metric except defense are better than the Patriots on paper. They've also been in overseas for 3 weeks at this point, right? They're just playing
Just
literally
insane
back
to me.
back. I don't know
See,
why the NFL wants this, to be honest.
Are they trying to get Jackson? Are they just trying to make Jacksonville like the new London team?
I mean, they have been for the past 3 years where they play in every international game and it's weird and I don't know who likes it. I mean, they're making a shitload of money because all these games are just
Yeah, but
absolutely packed.
I feel bad for Jaguar fans.
Oh, yeah.
They this is killing their arena, their stadium. I mean,
Yeah, they miss out on minimum 2 home games a year. I think this year they might potentially miss out on 3 or 4. So, yeah, that's rough. As far as this game goes, I have no confidence in either team. I'm
exactly. So pick the Patriots.
No, just to be different, I'm just gonna go Jaguars, and I'll go 27-21. I have no thoughts on this game whatsoever, so I'm just literally
So you're
picking
you're
the same
picking
score as you.
same score, different team.
Different outcome. Just make it fun. Just make it fun. A game I do have opinions on, Casino. Titans at Bills. The 1 and
Blowout of the
4
week.
yeah, 1-4 Titans traveling to the 4-2 Bills. Bills will now have Amari Cooper as the number one target for Josh Allen. To fix that, I mean, you look at it, Titans still have the number one defense, which I don't understand how, and they have the 32nd ranked offense. So the Titans would be significantly better if they literally had the 20th ranked offense in the league with as good a defense as they do.
Yeah.
But the Bills, 17th in total offense, 22nd in total defense. Shockingly, the Bills have a better rushing attack than they do passing attack, even though Josh Allen this season, 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, almost 1,200 yards, and 63% completion percentage. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. This is blowout of the week.
Blowout of the week.
The Bills should
The over under
annihilate
is
them.
41. The over under is 41. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Let's say. Can 32 be a number? No, 31. Let's go 31-14.
31-14. The last time these two teams played, the
No,
Bills.
31-13.
I already wrote 14.
Damn you.
No, I wrote 13. You know what? I'm gonna say the last time these two teams played, it was 41-7. So I'm gonna go similar to that score. I like your 31, so I'm gonna go 31-7. Bills. I think this is an annihilation. Titans are continually one of the worst teams I see play every week. Will Levis, 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And
Hmm.
so far, they've played 5 games, and there's been 5 meme-worthy moments from Will Levis. Will we get a 6th in this game?
Oh yeah, it's on trend.
He's gonna do something that is gonna be a meme afterwards, some reaction. He's gonna hit somebody, dive, I don't know. But can't wait for this game, just to be an absolute blowout. Next up, Casino, Dolphins at Colts. And I believe that Anthony Richardson will be returning for this game. So there is gonna be
Boo.
no Joe Flacco magic.
I
Who do
hate
you
it.
got in this one, Casino?
Well, now I'm gonna go Dolphins. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still gonna go Colts. Yeah, the Dolphins are just bad. Um,
Also, is
Colts.
Tua returning for this game? I have not seen anything.
Well, when did they let wheelchairs out onto the field?
Oh Lord.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yes, it's been confirmed. He has been a full participant in practice this week with Anthony Richardson. So he will be back and starting for this game. As far as Tua goes, I have not seen anything. Let me look it up real quick.
Well, regardless, I'm gonna go Colts, and I think this is a stinker of a game. I'm gonna go 24-17 Colts.
So he's predicted to return this season, but not for this game. I'm sorry, who are you picking, Casino?
Colts 24-17.
24-17 Colts. This might be, I think this is going to be my pick for worst game of the week. So I'm picking this as the worst game of the week. At least we're going to see blowouts and other ones and weird stuff and players you're interested in seeing. No Flacco magic in this game. When Anthony Richardson was in those first couple games, you looked good, and then it was just rough, almost
Except for when you had that
identical.
3 interception game.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He started good and then just kind of had a rough season, much like we saw from him last year. If Flacco was in this game, I'd be much more interested. I'm still picking the Colts because the Dolphins are a dumpster fire. I think this is even
And
going
you
to be
picked the
lower
Dolphins to
scoring.
win the division.
Did I?
I think so.
I think I might have. But they looked, I mean, pretty decent with Tua, but yeah, Dolphins are tough. Their defense, however, second in the league in total defense. So again, if they just had some semblance of an offense with Tua, I feel like my pick to for them to win the division, I would feel pretty confident about. Uh yeah, I'm still picking the Colts, who will shockingly be 4-3 after this game. I'll go 2017. Colts over Dolphins. This is going to be my worst game of the week, just in terms of watchability. I don't think I'll watch any of this game, especially with no Flacco. We got four more games to go, Casino. Bengals at Browns. Before we talk about this, will there be a worse quarterback matchup? I mean, we just kind of talked about one, but one of the best quarterbacks in the league versus, I think, inarguably the worst.
I don't know. Will is pretty bad, man.
But he's not. But again, I don't think he's as bad as Deshaun Watson.
Well,
Deshaun
off the field,
Watson just
definitely nobody's worse than Deshaun off the field.
but Burrow having the best season of his career, 72% completion percentage,
So stupid.
1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and the Bengals are 2-4. And also their defense, again, we've talked about teams that are doing better than the Bengals with much worse defenses. Their Bengals defense 24th in the league. So this should be the game where the Bengals like reassert themselves as a good team. This should be
Yet they'll win and still be under 500.
yeah. I'm going same score as last time these two met, 31-14 Bengals.
28-14 Bengals.
And again, if I've said the Bengals would be a dumpster fire all season, it definitely hasn't been Burrow's fault, but it has definitely been the fault of their defense and coaching and just weird shit here and there. If they lose this game, I feel like I'll officially be correct on my dumpster fire pick, Casino. Because if they're
Mhm.
losing to this Browns team, I mean, what else could you call them but a dumpster fire when they
Right. I
see
mean,
the
my whole argument about them being good was Joe Burrow was back, baby. And
and he is,
and
and
he
he's having
is.
the best, and it's still just weird. Next up, we talked about your team. Now let's talk about mine. Eagles at Giants. 3-2 Eagles at the 2-4 New York Football Giants. Shockingly, the Eagles have a top 10 defense again. That's what happens when you play the Browns. Next week, your defense looks much better. You shoot up the rankings. Uh, yeah, Eagles,
Uh, I'm going Giants.
you son of a bitch.
Dude, the Eagles were one play to Brown away from losing that game. Like, if that play did not happen, they lost to the Browns.
Uh, eh,
Giants. Giants.
eh. All right, what's your score?
Giants.
Score.
Ugh. 20-17.
My reverse jinx has not worked all season, so I'm throwing the all jinxes away, Casino. I'm picking the Eagles just straight up to win. Uh, I'm picking Eagles. I think they are the better team. Last week they got all their injured players back. This week I think
And
they
they
also
still
get
barely beat the Browns.
well, yeah, they were just feeling stuff out.
All right, Mr. Optimist.
I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Uh when you look at the stats for both these teams, it's almost
Eagles are favored
identical.
-3.5.
It's identical almost in every
Mhm.
category, except the Giants have way more sacks than the Eagles this season, which is kind of why the Eagles defense has struggled to
Yeah.
stop anybody. But when you look at offensively total yards, the Giants have 1978, the Eagles have
Great year.
1925. So, only thing that the Eagles are significantly better than the Giants in is rushing. Huh. That's weird. Who did the Giants used to have at running back? Oh, that's right. It's Saquon Barkley returning to his first game against the Giants when they basically just threw him in the trash and said, get out of here, even though you're the best thing on the team. I think this is a huge Saquon Barkley revenge game against his former team in New York. He's going to put up, I mean, minimum 7,000 yards in this one game. So, and that's me being minimum. Uh, I'm
No, wait,
saying
tell 'em. We gotta hurry.
Eagles officially win a game handily, and I can go a
That's
half
really funny. I
without
said my
wanting to kill
wife's
myself.
home, we gotta hurry, and Alexa goes, "I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you with that." Jesus.
I'm saying 28 to 10. Eagles crush the Giants. That's what I'm saying. Last two games, Casino, our hometown Raiders at the
This is
Los
my least
Angeles
favorite game of the
Rams.
week.
I think also this was it was between this and the last one for worst game of the week. Uh, the Devontae
Mine's
Adamless
right there.
Las Vegas Raiders 2-4 at the 1-4
Good
Los
God.
Angeles Rams.
I'm about to get yelled at. Yeah, she's in the garage. Sure, go open the door. I don't
Who you picking in this one, Casino?
Rams.
uh, I am also. I don't know. This is. Will this be a addition by subtraction? Probably not. I'm also picking the Rams. I think the Raiders lost clearly their best offensive weapon. I think this will be an ugly, ugly game. I can't see it being more than 14-10. I'm going Rams. What's your score on this one, Casino?
13-10 Rams.
Oh, yeah, just again, injuries, Raiders being a bad team. They just lost their number one wide receiver. Last pick, Casino. Panthers at your Commanders.
This was almost my blowout of the week.
Panthers 1-5, Commanders 4-2. Who you got?
I'm going with my boys. You know that. Commanders all day. Let's rock. Jaden
Yep.
Daniels is going to have a three touchdown game easily. Easily three touchdowns, maybe four. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 35 to the Red Rocket will put up 14.
Well,
17.
uh
17.
35-17. Yeah, I do think I'm going even higher. I'm going 42, but I still feel like the Commanders defense leaves something to be desired. I'm going 42-24. I think this would be a
You're
high
spot
scoring
on.
game.
That's what it's gonna be. Go bet the house.
42-24. I'm picking Commanders as well. Just to recap, Casino, and I think this is funny. The teams that you have, or the teams we have differently this week. So the first two, we have a lot of games different actually. The first two I could see happening. Packers Ravens, right? So you picked Packers Ravens, I picked Bucs Texans. Now these are the rest of the teams you're relying on to win this week. You're relying on the Jets, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Patriots, and the Giants. You feel good about those picks? If I lose this week, I mean, I don't know what I have to do. I don't know what I have to do to
Can you
win.
send me that list because I can't believe I picked him. So I'm gonna look at me. I'm disheveled right now.
It looks much worse on paper. I will say that. Just having putting your hopes in Jets, Cardinals, Saints, Patriots, Giants. Ooh, Lord. Do we want to do Casino's Corner or you want to just get out of here and save it?
I mean, I'll just make it quick.
All right. I
Liberty
present to you Casino's Corner as I bow out. The floor is yours, Casino.
Liberty are now up 2 games to 1. They have one more game to complete that and to win the WNBA Finals. That's that. Right now, the Yankees are absolutely dominating the Cleveland Guardians. You have another game. I believe it's this evening. Yep, it is this evening. Oh wait, no. Yep, oh, it's on right now. It's going right now. Yankees Guardians. And then we also have the Mets Dodgers today. That series is pretty much all done up because the Mets lost their game last night at home, which they really needed to win. They lost 8-0 against the Mets, against the Dodgers pitcher that is one of their weaker pitchers. And then now they have to go back to LA and they go back to LA and oh wait, no, so they still are in the Mets tonight, but in New York tonight. However, they do have to play uh the Dodgers' two best pitchers, starting pitchers. Shohei Ohtani has been brilliant when people have been on base. This is a fun stat. He's 0-22 with nobody on base this postseason, but he's 5 for 7 with batters with people on. So psychology.
Also, watch that whole Mets Dodgers game last night. The Mets left so many people on base. It
They let
was
so many people on base, and they they let some runs early happen. Like it was they dropped the ball, and that was their season right there.
Yeah.
Because now the Yankee or the Dodgers have their 2 best starting pitchers that are just gonna absolutely roll the next 2 games. And as of right now, it was 0-0, but now the Yankees are up 1-0 against the Cleveland Guardians, top of second. That series is gonna be a sweep. It's gonna be the Yankees Dodgers, like I said, and I don't know who I'm cheering for. I truly don't.
Ugh,
I
nobody.
mean just maybe Otani because I like what he's doing. Again, this is a recovery year for him, and he's being an absolute beast. So, yeah, go Otani, I guess. I don't know because I don't care for the Yankees at all, you know. So, and there's not even a player on the Yankees currently on their current roster that I'm like, yeah, I like that guy. Like he's a good ball player. Like I think they're all tools. All right, that was Casino's Corner. I'm done. My kid's awake. My wife's home. My other kid is running around topless and playing with markers. So,
Speaking of Casino versus his kids and his wife, another miserable matchup added to the board. But
who do you got?
I'm taking the field. I'm taking the field. But this has been the Only Sports Podcast.
Great episode.
Great episode. You got a
So,
bunch of random stuff on this episode, including my 5-minute story that was super depressing to start the podcast.
yeah,
But this has been the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. Yeah,
one day you'll get that right.
but that day is not today. And we will be back Sunday night for the Sunday solo show, and then Casino and I will be back on Tuesday to where we will have our power
We'll
ranking.
see. We will see,
Oh.
depending on who wins today between me and my family.
We'll definitely see you Sunday, maybe see you Tuesday. And we'll be back next Thursday to preview week 8. But first we have to see week 7. This has been the Only Sports
What a
Podcast.
doozy.
What a doozy. Adios.